Welcome back to History Snippets. My name is Pam VanAlstine and I'm one of the interpreters here at Edwards Place. I was giving a tour several weeks ago and I brought the group into the parlor here and I was talking about the courting couch here behind me. And I mentioned that the fabric on the couch is horsehair. And the lady in the group said, I've never heard of horsehair. So one of the things that I started doing was researching. But first, let me tell you about our couch. It was created in 1840, and it was in the parlor of Ninian Edwards and Elizabeth Edwards. Lincoln would come to that couch and sit, and he and Mary would court, and it is told that he would gaze longingly at her while she chattered away. The sofa is an Empire-style horsehair-covered sofa. The Ninian Edwards home was demolished, unfortunately, in 1917, but the love seat here was saved, and it's now in our parlor. Several years ago, the couch was sent to the Chicago Conservation Center to see if it needed repair. Well, it did. The veneer was coming off in several places, and the fabric was in a terrible state. One of the most remarkable finds was the fact that these arms have a box inside them, and inside the box was the original horsehair. They were then able to recover the wonderful upholstery on this couch now in the original horsehair. And please note that the back of it is embroidered horsehair, which is something that is very, very rare. Well, now we've moved to the north end of the double parlor. So what is horsehair? When did it start and how did it get developed? Well, there is some mention in the use of horsehair in the 8th century with the Spaniards, but it is well documented that the Swiss in the 9th century started using horsehair. The most common use of horsehair was in the mid-19th century. It was used for stuffing and, of course, for the fabric. In the town of Castle Cary in the United Kingdom, cottage workers began to weave horsehair cloth using hair taken from live horses, because at that time it was the fashion to crop the tails of a horse. In the early 1800s, a textile merchant named John Boyd recognized the market for the fabric and began his own business there in Castle Cary. And he was so successful that in 1851, he built his own factory that was designed just for horsehair. Today, the John Boyd factory is only one of 2 factories in the world who are still making horsehair. Now we're in the library of the Edwards Place, and we've surrounded me with our wonderful horsehair chairs and, of course, Governor Edwards' settee. Horsehair fabrics are sought for their luster, durability, and care properties. It is an ideal fabric for constant, continued use. Horsehair comes from China or Mongolia, where horses are still bred in sufficient numbers. The hair comes from stallions and costs $150 to $400 a pound. And by the way, it takes 2 years for the tails to grow back on the horses. The fabric material is woven from a cotton or polyester warp and horsehair weft. The looms at the John Boyd horsehair fabrics are 150 years old. They have 10 looms per weaver, and a weaver is trained for almost 15 years before she is able to learn how to take care of those 10 looms. After weaving, the fabric is pressed between hot plates in an old cider press. This flattens out any waviness and gives it its well-known sheen. To buy the fabric, I hope you're all ready for this, it would cost you about $200 a meter. So if you're able to afford horsehair, here's how you take care of it. You brush it and vacuum it. Spills should be wiped up immediately, first with a damp cloth and then with a dry cloth. It is not advisable to wash the fabric. Find a reputable dry cleaner. So today, are we using horsehair fabric? You better believe we are. Today, the horsehair fabric is available in a broad range of designs and colors, from hot pink to black. Contemporary designers have used this fabric in a wide range of applications. in everything from wall coverings to lampshades to floor coverings. Please join us next week for more history snippets.